Hold on. I'm back. What's up, Brian? Vince? Morgan? Nah, nobody's froze. I just wasn't there. I had to sat down and I said, I'm gonna mask some baits off. And then I didn't realize I didn't have any tape. Did y'all see my thumbnail? I've been hearing about this damn Yamamoto bait for, I guess, weeks now. They've been going through their little marketing push teasers. And finally was today the day that they came clean and showed the actual bait. Sorry, Morgan, that is upsetting. But I can give you the name of a guy who has multiples. You could probably weasel one off of him that may or may not show up in the chat today. Yeah, did you see that thing, Brian? Let's see. It's so stupid looking. All right. So don't get me wrong. It will certainly catch fish, but it looks like a little pecker, dude. It's got a little pecker hanging off the end. Will it catch fish? Certainly. I'm sure it's good, but come on, guys. Come on, guys. All right. I got a good laugh out of that. No, it wasn't you, Bob. It wasn't you, Bob. Yeah, Brian, I don't think I'm a buyer. I feel like if I'm gonna flip something like that, I'm just gonna flip a Cinco or something like. I mean, I feel like there's or a tube or I don't know. I mean, I guess there's nothing like it, but it's like a fat like hot dog weenie with a Ned rig on the back. I guess that's the whole play. It's like it's got a Ned rig as a tail. What's up, Tim? I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure it'll catch them, but curb appeal is not necessarily too strong with that one. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just a sourpuss, but you hope after seeing all these hype videos and all these pros, oh, we got a new bait coming out. Can't show it just yet. It's a secret. And then they release the little dangler. Will, nice tidbit of information. Those baits have been out in Japan for over a year. How about that? By Yamamoto or a different company? You don't hear much out of Yamamoto Japan. I don't. I did get to fish. Did I tell you? I know I told y'all about fishing Yamamoto's lake, but I don't know if I filled you in that I fished it the week, like the day I showed up. Yamamoto Japan had been there for like a damn week, And I was like, dude, of all the goobs, like of all the little googans to follow, like like fish behind, wouldn't care. But Yamamoto Japan probably knew what they were doing. They probably caught everything that would bite, uh, which is probably why we didn't catch jack shit. But big bluegill. Um, but I did have a funny. It wasn't funny at all. Actually, it was pretty terrible. But I was packing up all this shit to send out today, and I had Bob. I had your box left because yours was the last one that needed special treatment. So I set them off to the side, and I looked at the baits, and I had four of one color, two of another. I said, that doesn't seem right. So I said, well, I must have doubled down on one of the purple ones to somebody else. So I had this damn stack of boxes here, and one of them had a duplicate baits that weren't supposed to be in there. So I just guessed, and I pulled the right box, and I indeed put too many of the same color in there. But I found it, and I didn't have to open up every box. I was pretty happy. Um, they brought the little Yamamoto fuzzy dice prototypes. Probably. There's no telling what those dudes were fishing with. I would like to have known, though. I'd like to have been there when Yamamoto Japan was there. That would have been pretty cool. That place was real creepy, though. I do have a picture of when you walk inside the lobby. Like I bet in its prime before Yamamoto bought it, and even after he owned it, like when in the first probably 3 or 4 years of him owning it, it was probably a really cool place to be around. But you could tell when I was there, it was kind of not much had been done. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty much the same as it had been for 20 years when whatever oil tycoon built it. Um, but I bet in its prime, it was a really fun place to be. There was a picture of, I guess Gary's got a place down in Venice. It's not in Venice proper. It's kind of one of those little suburbs of Venice. But I think that's what his favorite thing to do is go down to Louisiana. Um, but he's got a place down there, and I guess Takahiro was down there with him. There's a picture of Takahiro with like his big glasses on, holding up a blue crab. I took a picture of that picture. That was cool. Yeah, it was just a real interesting place. Very interesting. I wish everybody could go there, which I guess it is no more. I heard Disney bought it. Disney was the people that bought that company or that bought that piece of property. Uh, I tried to get a steak off of them because they were raising Wagyu beef, and they said they didn't have any. I said something tells me you're blowing smoke up my ass. I'm on a Wagyu beef farm, and you don't have any Wagyu beef. That's like you walk into my office and be like, "Do you have any crankbaits?" I'm like, no, no crankbaits. Don't have crankbaits here. Jimmy Houston's Lake would be fun. Bob, they're all going to Florida because I ran out of shipping labels. When I got to yours, I hit print, and it was the last one on the roll, and I got to go get more. So rather than waiting, I just put them all together. So they're all going to Florida. Um, but back which the was a meat cutter for 5 years, and Wagyu is delicious. Ribeye is the way to go. Yeah, I was really disappointed that Beverly wouldn't come off a damn steak. It's not like I was asking for like a side of beef. I just wanted one steak, and we were going to cook it and let everybody try it and see how good their meat was. I'm sure she could have come off one ribeye. Uh, the butt plug. That's what it looks like. It looks like a little cartoon wiener that just like dangles around. The dangler. Uh, but I will say it was. I like talking about that Yamamoto experience. It was pretty fun. Like they had this huge like industrial kitchen, or not industrial, but commercial grade kitchen, and it was badass because we like I guess we weren't supposed to use it supposedly, but because there was nobody there, uh, we got to use everything. We were literally the only group there. I guess because it was so shitty. But we'd go sit in the dining room and go fire up the damn Viking like range and flat top, and it was like pretty much having like a Waffle House kitchen like at your disposal. It was pretty fun. And they had a grill out back. We'd go out there and grill with Beverly. She'd sit out there and shoot the shit with us and drink wine and talk about the good old days. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. It was more like being a guest at Yamamoto's house without him than it was like going to like a lodge. But pretty fun. Pretty fun. It was kind of creepy though. It was kind of like Bates Hotel. You walk in there and there's like nobody working at the desk. You like ring the bell. This girl, like 5 minutes later, comes walking out and she's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, yes, we're actually checking in. Well, I really would like to. I don't know that is going to be in the plans. I need to talk to Amy. She wants to go to the camp this weekend. I could postpone that and go to. I could postpone that and go uh, to the classic. I have to find a place to stay though. Um, the Shining. Never seen The Shining. I don't like scary movies or movies that any kind of like psychologically disturbing things because for me watching a movie is for entertainment. Terrorizing my thoughts are not is not entertaining to me. Like I don't like Ozark. I forget which season it was. Maybe it was the second season, the last episode. If y'all watched Ozark, where the attorney lady is in the last scene, you know what I'm talking about? Dude, that like flashed in my brain for like a month when I went to sleep. Like I would like close my eyes and I would see like the pistol. It was crazy. Uh, Chris, I heard the cover scat's pretty good. Your wife loves scary movies. Luckily for me, uh, like Goosebumps is scary for Amy. So, or like Ernest Scared Stupid. That's like a horror movie for us. That's good enough. Like if it's good enough for your like 3-year old, that's about our limit of scary movies. I'm trying to think the last like actually. I went and saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the theaters, and we laughed so hard at it because my buddy was there, and he had this like screech like when something would happen. Dude's like 6'5", like 270, but when like something jumpy would happen, he'd go, "Whoo!" and he'd make this noise, and every time he would do that, we would all start laughing, and then everybody else would start laughing. So we pretty much would just wait for him to get scared, and then all laugh at him. So it wasn't that scary. We just laughed the whole time. Need to watch Parasite. Sounds like I don't. Let's look this up. Come on. Don't want this. Parasite. Greed and class discrimination threaten the newly formed symbiotic relationship between the wealthy Park family and the destitute Kim clan. What is the meaning behind Parasite? It's a jet-black satire of class conflict and wealth inequality. A leech which hungrily sucks until it has no choice but to explode and spray blood everywhere. Ugh. Burns is going to be a short one. Amy's blasting me with questions that I have to do to get off of here. So it's going to be, this might be the shortest uh, YouTube live in a while. Courage the Cowardly Dog growing up. What is that? Like when I was growing up, I watched pretty weird stuff. I watched weird stuff. I didn't watch scary stuff. Um, Courage the Cowardly Dog. No, never heard of it. Final episode, 2002. First episode, 99. No, I'd have been a freshman in high school. I didn't catch that one. Um, Tell Amy it's men time. She's trying to be productive and do like tax stuff. So I have to be productive and do tax stuff for her or to send her. So, uh, let's see. But no, we used to watch, like, one of my favorite shows was Labyrinth growing up. I probably watched that at too young of an age. Uh, Least favorite time of year, indeed. It's sickening. Um, you used to watch Labyrinth. It's good. Howard the Duck, dude. Howard the Duck was creepy. Uh, Burns. No, I like the one. I was just confused. I couldn't tell from the picture. Now Burns is giving away prototypes. That's the problem. Um, Willow, yes. Uh, I never got into that Dark Crystal. We never watched that. Never ending story, all that kind of shit. Um, but the one that terrorized me as a child that my mom had to take me out of the movie theater, and why she took me to the movie theater to see it, I don't know. But that was Gremlins. I think we went to the movie theater when I was 5 to see Gremlins, and I think she took us because it was a Disney movie and it was supposed to be for children. And Gremlins scarred me for life, pretty much. Like that's how my dad used to like have to like he never had to discipline me because he would just say he saw stripes somewhere and I needed to act right. Or like if I was like being a dick, he'd be like, "I think I saw a stripe in your room." Chucky never really bothered me. Chucky was kind of clownish to me. Chucky didn't really do much for me. Uh, all the dark '80s kids movies, yeah, pretty much. I'm 39. AJ, are you trying to get people to join Omnia? I haven't placed an order with Omnia yet. Not that I need anything, but probably will at some point. why not support them? I have no marriage to tackle warehouse, so. AJ, are you on the payroll? Do you have to put hashtag ad paid advertisement in your post now? Free premium right now. I don't know what that even means. Pet Cemetery. I never got a hold of that one. Never watched it. Never watched any of those like real creepy ones. No skin in the game, just promoting a good company. They seem like they've been doing good. I wonder if they're going to be buying the new Yamamoto dangler in volume. What else did I see? Oh, Tyler Clotilde on here sent me a video. And if I were, oh, look at this picture. What am I wearing? Damn, I had a visor on. I was ahead of my time, dude. What am I wearing? Yes, those are white Reeboks. Green 100-mile-an-hour suit and a plaid shirt and a Yamaha VMAX visor. Nice bass ripping uniform. If you see that guy walk up, you better be worried. Sinister is the best scary movie. Prisoner shoes look like it. Old, I won't say old, but who was I looking up? Oh, let's look at this video. No. So this happened on, I don't know if it's made. Oh yeah, Tim. This son of a bitch was a damn, and it was a weird combo because I bought my TR19 Triton in that weird in between year where they could put Yamahas or Mercury's on it, and mine had a VMAX on it. And I will tell you that my Pro XS stayed in the shop. My VMAX, it never saw a shop a day in its life, and I ran the dog shit out of it. And the thing about it was, it would foul plugs like none other. Like you had to keep plugs in the boat, multiple sets, and it guzzled oil, which hence the plugs. But it guzzled gas, it guzzled oil, it guzzled everything. But that damn thing was bulletproof. Check this out.
You need to go somewhere else, help. I'm not on private property. I'm on the water. You need to go somewhere else, help. There's 17,000 acres here. Okay, now I'm choosing to fish right here, and I got this much property. You come right up in here. I seen you turn around. You threw up in my boat slip, thinking you could do something. You're a damn fool. Fuck you. Forgive him, Lord. Lord? What Lord are you talking about? If you knew anything, Lord, you wouldn't try to be coveting somebody else's property. That's number 10, by the way. I won't come to your house and break in because I don't want anything you have. Think about that, brother.
I like the I like the Hulk Hogan exit. Think about that, brother. He's still going.
Yes, you are.
Piece of shit. The guy was pissed. But that is at Millers Ferry, Alabama. That is my real home body of water. That happened over the weekend in a Fishers of Men tournament, apparently. The thing about it is, the guy's where that guy's dock is not that great. Like, I don't know if things have changed, but historically over the last 20 years, it's not been that good anyway. So I would have had no qualms about being like, all right, dude, you can eat a dick, but I don't mind leaving here because it sucks anyway. That would have been funny, Dustin, if he'd have said, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll leave. Trim the motor up and just hosed his ass. But yeah, there's another angry homeowner that thinks he owns the water. So I'm sure that'll be showing up in your Facebook and Instagram and TikTok feeds shortly. That was from Saturday. So, like I said, I fish up. I don't fish up there all the time anymore, but I used to fish up there every damn week. But I'm sure that's going to start making the rounds. He did. Tim. He did have his piece on him, his pump piece. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently, that's not the first time. Tennessee Bassmaster, how are you? Are you going to be going to the Bassmaster Classic, Tennessee Bassmaster, with a handle like that? I would think you would be first in line. Yes, of course. There you go. Is there going to be a YouTube meetup of all the YouTube dudes that like know each other? Tim, are you going? You're not too far away, are you? You should be close. Volunteering. What's your job? I'd be really pissed if I went out calling some old man's bluff and he blasted me with a shotgun for fishing his dock. That'd be a shitty way to go. What is your task, Tennessee Bassmaster? That'd be pretty fun, though, I think. I don't know. Probably be pretty fun for a minute until you saw your friends walk through and you couldn't go run in there and talk to them. I would like to go to one of the launches. That seems like it'd be kind of exciting. Boat care and expo stuff. It'd be fun. You get to wipe down boats, see all the dudes' rigs up front, up close. I don't know. Good question, Tim. I'm not putting it together because I probably won't even go. But I would think it would be a smart move. Maybe Hellabass could put that together. Be the ringleader of this meet and greet. Meet up at the Camus booth. That's a good place to meet. And then he can flex and be like, "Look, Camus, look at all the people I brought to look at your boats." Burns, I think they did. I think they called the Corps and the warden and sheriff. Tennessee Bassmaster, yes, I believe. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe Hella is going. Yes. Going to be in the Megabass booth. Fancy. I'll be interested to see how many local, not big like commercial brands will be there. I'm going. I plan to hang out near the Camus booth 1 to 2 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Other than that, I will be walking around the expo. Big dumb guy advisor. There you go. With all the Megabass Meisters. I wish they'd bring some Meisters. That would be pretty cool, Morgan. I would like to meet a Meister. Not that they ever get out of their little painting factory to know who anybody is or would ever know who I was, but it'd be. And I guess I couldn't talk to them because they all probably speak Japanese. So I don't know what you would actually talk to a Meister about. Like if I came nose to nose with a Meister, what do you ask them? I don't have any Meister questions. I don't think. What would I ask a Megabass Meister? The only people I would really like to talk to is the eye putter oners. How do you get those downward looking eyes so consistent every time? Besides practice, you just point to the colors you like and give them the nod, pretty much. Northern Effect or whatever it's called, Northern Lights, Northern Sky, Northern Moon. I'm trying to think. What's that dude? David Swin something. He was with Duo. You want to talk about a guy that's passionate about Duo Realis? Go talk to that guy. You'll know him. You will know him. You want to talk Duo? Bring your lawn chair and a snack. Tim, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think that would be machine done. Chris says he's not sure that Megabass is even going to be at the Classic. Tennessee Bassmaster, what say you? Is this confirmed? That'll be the short, dumb-looking kid in the Megabass hat. Tennessee Bassmaster, I have a feeling there's going to be lots of those. How will we differentiate you? They are. Look at the booth number. There you go. But the thing about it is, like, I guess they have a. I don't know. I've never sat down and probably tried to figure out the perfect recipe for like where you slot them off the card and like the technique for like making it consistent. I'm sure they do that, but for me, every time I pick one off the card, it's like some different angle, and I gotta like turn the exacto a certain way, or like I always have to do something wonky. John, that was my first thought when I saw the new Yamamoto bait. I was like, that looks like that Squidward guy. I didn't know his name, but I looked up a cartoon with a long nose. Megabass is 5305. There you go. Man, I'm kind of getting FOMO, and it's not even time yet. Not that there's going to be jack shit to see at the Classic. I mean, can y'all think of anything that's like you would be besides the people? If you took all the people out, what do you get excited about going into the expo? The Yamamoto dangler. Icon boat. I guess it'd be cool to see one of those. I want to see the move. Yeah, I've heard people say that the move was on their list to see. I would also like to see that. So Power Pole will be a very busy booth. Um, Going to the classic does seem fun until I have to pack myself in Amy's car and drive 16 hours or however long it is. Was it like 7? I look at this up every time. Directions. Starting point. 7 hours and 22 minutes. Uh-oh, Bean doesn't feel good. Um, 1 hour away. Stearman, it is. It is. I'll see if I have a picture still screenshotted. It's pretty. No, I deleted it. Let me see. I can pull it up real quick. It's pretty bad. What's that dude's name? Who's the dude that caught the big? There it is. Hey, everybody.
Finally here.
It's finally here.
Yamamoto baits. This is the Yamamoto, and this is so cool. I'm so excited about this.
It's called the Yamamoto.
It's a heavy stick bait. It's 5/8 of an ounce, and this has been around.
That was a shitty screenshot.
This is the original heavy stick bait that so many different baits have been spawned off of this one bait. And this is one of the hottest techniques right now in Japan. Throwing this, and again, this is a Yamamoto. And what is cool about this bait, it's a heavy stick bait. It's going to sink perfectly horizontally down.
Yeah, it's like a
5/8 of an ounce. I want to throw that bait.
It's like a turd. Yamaduki. Deals, Hayden. Are there deals at the Classic? What's up, Rich? Scat style Ned looking thing, pretty much. Yamaduki. That's what they should have named it. Tons of deals, dude. Every time I go roll up in there, it's never anything I actually want. But there's always people walking around with like mass quantities of rods. Like there's always somebody blowing out a rod. I remember that one year at the Classic where they sold like 20,000 skeet reach rods because they were like buy one get one free or something. And they're like $50, and literally everybody was walking around the expo holding a yellow rod. But Mark's Outdoors, when they had the Classics in Birmingham, Mark's used to go out there and blow out some stuff. But I remember at Conroe Academy had a giant booth set up, and they had all these like deals that weren't even deals. Like they were shitty. So I'll be interested to see what kind of deals. A white keyboard, yes. You mean this one? I got two computers. Laptop. Big Mac. That was my editing Mac. The Classic I went to had a Ducket Micro Magic, buy one get 2, 1 free or something. Sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's what the biggest player is, Morgan. I think when you have people walking around and everybody sees everybody else walking around with uh, yellow rods, they say, "Ooh, where's everybody getting those yellow rods?" And then they go find them and they see the deal and they're like, "That must be a good deal. Everybody else is getting it. I'm getting it." Does anybody wrap rod guides besides Morgan? Morgan, I was thinking that's my biggest beef with my Powells is that the guides are pretty shitty. Wonder what it would cost to have like 18 rods re-guided. Just take all the existing guides off and put new good ones on there. Tim, tell me about Travis. You wrap rods too? Is that how big of an undertaking is that? It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it would be that terrible. Maybe it is. It's easy. Okay. I guess just finding the rod tip size. Here's the next question. I was looking around in like a Barlow's catalog, and they had some guides in there, and they gave the millimeters of the rod guide. Do they measure inside diameter, outside the insert, or is the millimeters the entire guide itself? All my reels froze, so the anti-reverse froze on my rods. I have had that happen, Tennessee Bassmaster, and I still think about the bite. It was on a swim jig at Lay Lake in February, and the fish blasted through a hyacinth mat on a little secondary point of a pocket, and it was probably the most hellacious swim jig bite I've ever gotten. And yeah, when I went to set the hook, it was cold as shit that morning, and my reel spun backwards. Anti-reverse bearing grease was cold, did not engage. I think the ring size is ID. That's what I didn't know. If I was going to order if I was going to order a bunch of guides, I didn't want to get the wrong ones. Decent set of guides would cost me 30 bones. I think the only thing I really need, I think I'm confident in my wrapping skills. Uh, but I would like a turner. I don't have a turner. Fuji K and don't look back. Let's see what those are. I wish I just knew somebody down here that was like really good at wrapping and could do it fast. Because it'd probably take me forever because I'd like unwrap it and wrap it a million times because it wouldn't look right. So Jersey, what's up, dude? Fuji K series guides. Do those have no inserts? Does that like insert list? Will that not come out? Fuji K with alkanite rings are good bang for your buck. Interesting. Guide kits, casting guides. CRB, what is this? Fuji K double foot alkanite. Fazlite, I want alkanite. They have black, gray, or silver. I want gray. Okay. Don't have black. 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. Seems confusing. You could probably talk to Dobbins and get a bunch of guides since Powell rods are similar. Possibly. I don't know. I would think Dobbins would tell me to eat a dick and go call Powell. We're going to want a dryer. See, I don't know what that is. Taduki. Yeah, I don't know what the answer to the guides are, but I've got one that's coming off and it needs to be rewrapped. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, dude, I just want to take all these off because they suck. The tips, especially. Sea guides. Never heard of them. Fuji K. We need a local rod wrapper down here. But the other thing is, I have trust issues, so I would not trust. Like, I would have to know somebody pretty well. Like, I would trust y'all to like wrap my rods, but I don't know that I would trust anybody that somebody just recommended down here to go drop off like all my rods to have them re-guided. Morgan, I would probably need all that good stuff. Because if the thread was dicked up, like, I want them to look right. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be smooth. I don't want them to be done professionally and look like a robot did it. Just say you have Dobbins. I have these Dobbins. They say Powell on them though. You can wrap on a hand wrapper, and then you just need a rod dryer. And having a power wrapper will help you level your finish. Morgan, why don't I just come visit you in Arkansas, and we'll go fishing, and I'll trade you some plugs for some rod wrapping time. How many do you think we could knock out in a weekend? I tried titanium C guides and went back to Fuji K's. Bend. Yeah, I would probably dick those up with braid if they bend. Just going to meet and talk to fellow bass heads. That would be fun to do this in person and not on a webcam. I would like to just kind of sneakily show up and then just walk around and see how many people recognize me and walk up and be like, "Yo, Tacklecraft." Like, hey. So you can only do one at a time. So if you did 16 rods, you would basically need 16 days, a day for each rod, or would that not even be enough? I remember the first rod I ever had worked on. It was a guy up there in Saraland. I took him my rod, and it was an old All-Star, and it was one of my favorite rods. No, it wasn't an All-Star. It was a Falcon Cara, and I broke a guide on it, and I took it to this dude to fix. It was an expensive rod, and I got it back from him, and the epoxy was sticky. And I called him, and I was like, "This epoxy's still sticky." He's like, "It'll dry." 6 months later, still felt like gum, and it like shit stuck to it. Like it'd have like carpet hair on it and leaves and dirt and shit. Like it was awful. It never dried out. And like if I'd had any sense, I would have like put more. But I was like 17, like I didn't know. Um, where do you get good blanks? Mudhole is always out of the blanks that Hayden needs. Good question. Cole, I am not going to Lake Fork. That did not make any sense to me. I got an older generation fucking car. That's a good blank. Yeah, this was a really good one back in the day. It was one of my splurges. Yeah, he dicked up my epoxy. And I think I've still got that rod, and I think the guide is still sticky. My power ripper has a drying mode, and then I have one separate drying motor. They say you can take it off in a couple hours with the finish, but I like to spend at least half a day. So in theory, you could get two rods a day. So in a week, we might go through 15, 14, 15. Welcher has a good rod building, did you? Gary has an excellent relationship with Fuji. He's got a ton. The main shop in Texas worth a shot. Gary, I need guides. And maybe when all these rods are gone and I get a little jingle in my pocket, I'll call you and it'll be time to re-guide. I don't want to learn on these burns. That's my problem. I think this is something better left to a pro. I like I can do one and then all the other ones look nice, but like I don't want to do them all. By all Gary Blanks, North Fork Customs Composites. Maybe I need to go down to Scroggins' house. Maybe I need to go down to Scroggins' house and pour me some ditto worms while he's helping me with some wrapping, rod wrapping. It seems like everybody's into this rod wrapping though. That's the problem, Marty. Is it would be very time consuming for me because, like I said, I would go through and like wrap it 10 times and then it wouldn't look right, and I'd be like, oh, let me unwrap that and do it again. So for me to actually finish a rod would probably take a while. Um, AJ, get to rapping, bro. Which one of mine? There was one I was using. I think it's this one. Yep. It bees. This one came unfooted. It broke through the thread. And I don't have any thread. I should be able to do this one. I might do this one just kind of shitty and not put any epoxy on it and just kind of leave it as is. But it does need something. This rod looks like it's got a little shiny in it, but it's the epoxy stuff on the blank. I don't think I want to get into rod wrapping though. I don't have the room for it or the patience. I have the patience for it, but I don't. Not right now. Like if I didn't have jack shit to do, like if I just went to like a, if I went to like a bank and worked every day, I would probably want to come home and wrap a rod. But you know, the wrapping is your least favorite part. See, that's the part I think I would enjoy. Is like the quest for perfection wrapping. And I don't want anything fancy. I just want, you know, black or gray thread. And I think gray thread would look cool. Then I'd start. Then I'd probably get into colors and like doing weird stuff, like doing one guide with like neon chartreuse thread, and then all the other ones be black, and then just have one random one with that would be like my signature. There you go, rod companies. I just threw you a freebie. You don't have to get a colored blank. Just do one random guide in the middle of your set that has a neon color. Make it pop. Travis, I will tell you, I really enjoy watching. There was some Japanese dude that I used to watch on YouTube or Instagram or something, but uh, he would do these videos of him like putting the epoxy on a guide, and they would spin, and he would just take his brush and lay it on there, and then like smooth it over, and then, dude, it was hypnotic to watch him do this. Like I would love. I could just sit there and watch those videos, and they were just so stupid, but it was just very uh, soothing, I guess, therapeutic. Brendan, are you going to the classic? Actually, epoxy part is way easy with a power wrapper. Travis, you got a power wrapper? Ah. I do have a buddy down here that said he bought the shit to do it, but he's into like saltwater stuff. But I mean, a rod's a rod. Um, Mixing epoxy from one rod that would suck. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could do. Do they have any like super turners that you could put like 6 rods at a time on? Do they make anything like that, like they have for like spinning lures with epoxy on it, where they have these giant Ferris wheels? Do they have like a Ferris wheel for rods that just like is big? Hayden, are you talking about those? That one? The King Kong shad? Rick Flynn's name on it? Multi-rod drawers. They are sharp because they went through the plastic. Kind of don't want to touch them now. They feel sharp. They feel real strong. I like them. Pretty big bait. Let's compare it to the Burns. Oh, look at there. I think the Burns is bigger. Kong ain't got shit on the Burns. Yeah, they're too sharp. Those are too sharp. I've definitely got to file those down. I'll have to get some sandpaper and hit those up. Round them points off. Round them points off. What's going on here? Oh, wrong way. Yes, I did say hook was too sharp. So how did Marty's big bait work? Let's see. I'll show you the text message. You can't read that because it's backwards. It's a picture of that bait and it said, that one's right. Opinion on the King Kong shad. It's a little busy. It's kind of muddy. There's not a lot of separation. I mean, you could have gotten the same result by just splattering the side. I don't think it adds anything. It breaks up the amount of red, but I don't think it's never going to look like a crawfish. It's just going to be just like this big red thing going through the water. Hell, I did. They're very dull. They're probably the dullest hooks you'll ever use. The rat brains are gone. They are long gone. They lasted a whopping 3 minutes. Extra dull hooks on the rat brains. They'll be perfect right out of the package. Right above the barb, yes. Correct. But I did take a file and cut out the barb and make it twice as fat, so you got a good barb to hold the fish. Dude, if a hook will stick in a tree, it'll stick in a fish's mouth. What percent of rat brains were scooped by campers? Ooh. There might have been 2 that weren't, maybe 1. I mean, they were pretty much everybody was camp life. Amy, they're trying to convince me to drive to the Classic in Knoxville Friday. No problem, Hella. I know we're supposed to go to the lake. No, Hella, the SB1 will drop probably Wednesday. I'm about to go wash them. They've already been sanded. I'm going to go wash them and mask them and put them on their sticks and get them ready to go. Uh, Travis, I wouldn't say that. There's the only thing I can do is I don't want to fucking do it because I don't want to ship out 30 damn baits, but I could do a single bait drop, and I know people would buy multiple, which would help. Uh, but for those that want just one, that would probably give more maybe opportunity for more people to get a bait, which would probably be better for the SB1 because it burns baby child. Uh, Agnes the same. Look at flights. Think flying would be cheaper? No way. I don't like flying. I'd rather drive. With all the other hooks, I would agree, but the hybrids are an exception. Um, yeah, I like the 2-packs. I like the 2-packs rather than the singles. Amy, if I were to go, I would have to take your car and you'd have to drive my truck around all weekend. I don't know how much you'd like that. I wouldn't take my truck. I'd be in the killer cam. Uh, let's look. Flights. Mobile to Knoxville. How about that shit? I gotta run it by Costco, fill it up. Round trip. Delta. I love it when you look up these flights and they give you like a month out. You're like, dude, no. I'm talking about tomorrow. That's probably a $700 damn airplane ticket. Flying to Knoxville is not cheap. There you go. 836. Mobile to Knoxville. Gotta go to Charlotte. Gross. Dude, that is a 9-hour flight. Here you go. I can leave. Dude, these are absurd. This is an 11-hour flight. Mobile to Knoxville. This is insane. Where do you have to go? Houston. So you go to Mobile to Houston, and then Houston to Knoxville. It's 11 hours. Amy, I could just drive up on Thursday and stay with Hella if he on his in his trunk, unless he's filled that place. Burns. I can figure that out. He still Hella still has a queen bed open Thursday night. There you go. 7.5. Brendan. Probably close to 8. A little more. Oh, what is this? $30 rebate. Omnia. $30 rebate with purchase of Omnia Premium. That seems fair. Schoolmaster, I would love to be spending the entire classic at Disney World. I would certainly trade with you. Hella, we do not eat Zaxby's. Zaxby's is trash. We are in like the chicken finger capital, dude. Rolling with a 2-year-old. Dude, I would love to take the bean. Triggering TK is so predictable. Zaxby's. Ugh. Dude, isn't Zaxby's the place that sells their combos without drinks? I think that's what really triggered me about Zaxby's. Hella, is I pulled up and I got a combo that was already like price gouging. It's like $12 for like a regular chicken finger plate, and I got up there and it was like $12, and she was like, I was like, "Where's my drink?" She was like, "It didn't come with a drink. You wanted a drink?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a damn. How am I gonna eat 5 chicken fingers and a bunch of French fries without a drink?" She's like, "Oh, they're not included." Maybe they changed it. Maybe they changed it. I hope they did. Fusakli's does rule supreme, Doug, but nobody knows what Fusakli's is because they're local. Are we done with the fishing talk and on the food? Apparently. Raising Cane's is legit. I'll give it to Cane's. Their tea's good. Raising Cane's is far superior to Zaxby's. Diet Dr. Kelp. Is it a seaweed drink? Who's blowing me up? Yeah, trying to think any other. Whatchamacallit, we just got a Bojangles the last couple of years. Bojangles is pretty good. The problem with Bojangles is that my favorite fast food chicken place of all time, Popeyes, has a little thing called Mardi Gras mustard. And it's the most delicious sauce that has ever been made for fried chicken. It will never change my mind. I know there's everything else under the rainbow, but Mardi Gras mustard at Popeyes is king to me as far as fried chicken dipping sauce. And the Bojangles had it. They had what they called bow sauce, and it was like a horseradishy kind of sauce. And then I went by there sometime after that, like months later, and they said we don't have bow sauce anymore. I think it was during COVID. They're like, yeah, we're not stocking bow sauce anymore. Ugh, what? It's the only reason worth coming here. Um, I did, Amy. I can, in my defense, the only reason I had crystals was because they're soft and they're squishy and they're steamed and they're like goo. And I had strep throat and I couldn't swallow. And it hurt to talk. And actually, if you go back to some of the streams a couple weeks ago, you could see me and I would like squint my face and swallow. I would do like that because it really hurt to swallow. Um, but that was the only reason I got crystals because I knew it would be easy on the throat, and I wanted diarrhea. Correct. How is Popeyes? How is Popeyes? Let me just put it to you like this, Brendan. You ever heard of Emeril Lagasse? According to him, that's the only fast food he'll eat. Intentional diarrhea. Hella is trying to get me to get the squirts, so I have to cut all my conversations short. Never had crystals. It's the same as White Castle, if you have those. I've never had White Castle, but they're pretty much the same, I think. Crystals is probably shittier and greasier, if I had to bet. I could eat a damn crystal right now. They're real good. They're expensive though. Dude, I went to Crystals, like I said, a couple weeks back when I was feeling like shit. I went to Crystals and like Crystals used to be like 89 cents a piece. And I guess I hadn't had them in a couple years or a year or however long. Crystals are like a four pack crystal with fries and a drink was like $11. Total ripoff. Total ripoff. I feel like yogurt is easy on the throat, not tiny cheeseburgers. Uh, Schoolmaster, I was leaving here after the Patreon stream, and they're the only people that were open that I could eat. So that was like on the way home, and I was hungry. So crystals it was. Welcome to inflation. You wouldn't think any of that shit that they get uh, would vary much with inflation because it's all probably like laboratory food. But oh yeah, I did say this was going to be a short stream, but White Castle is dairy cow meat. Hey, Casey, look what I was throwing. You're just the man I needed to ask. So I was throwing this worm, this Lake Fork tackle, and I had a question for you. Do you have a preference in the joint being like that, or do you rig it to where down the side of the bait like this, down the spine, down the seam, to where the joint is up and down? What's the way? Do you do it like that, or do you do it up and down? Tim, I got in my truck and it smelled like garlic, and it was kind of pleasing. Keep the ridges vertical. So like that. So if my worm is rigged like this, you want those ridges up and down with the hook. Okay. Just curious. I didn't know if there was any kind of. I did it both ways. I couldn't really tell much of a difference, but I didn't know if there was something else. I didn't throw it long enough to. That would probably be something I might notice, after a day of fishing. But I threw it a fair amount, and they just weren't eating that. White Manna, Hackensack, New Jersey. Is that near you, South Jersey? Can you dine there if you so choose? White Castle copied their recipe. Dicks. Another little guy getting copied by the big corporate monster. Have you eaten there, and is it delicious? I like the size. Because it's perfect for me because it's a little fatter than a speed worm, and it's shorter. And I've never noticed, as far as the speed worm goes, anytime I've ever been on a good speed worm bite, I've never noticed, because once I start catching fish on it, I'll just keep biting it down as they wear out the nose of the bait. I'll keep biting it down, and I've never noticed, like, I can take like 3 inches off of a speed worm, and I still catch like the same size and good size fish on it. So that's one of those things where I don't feel like when they're on it, I don't need that extra, bulk of the worm for whatever reason, because I feel like they can get it better when it's shorter, especially in grass. I rather have the shorter, more compact version. For anyone who missed on the rat brains, I got 2 I'm willing to sell. Bidding will start at $200 a piece. Also have a signed contract to never fish with them. There you go. Shout out Casey and Lake Fork Tackle. Casey, thank you for the nice package of worms. Those will go to good use. Much appreciated. KC10 and you get a discount. There you go. KC10 if you want some Lake Fork stuff. Take your at least probably maybe get you down to get your shipping off. But they do smell nice. They remind me of my childhood. I feel like every bait I ever bought when I was a kid had like garlic seeping out of its pores. So it did bring back a nice childhood nostalgic smell. All right, the short stream is about to end. I gotta do tax shit for Amy, but good talking to y'all. I will I know when Wheeler comes to Fork, he throws the magic shad. It was a flashback smell for sure. Casey, you really brought a smile to my face when I opened that package, because when I saw the motor oil ones in there, I was thinking to myself, that's the ones I really wanted. But they were kind of the only reason I didn't ask for them was because there's kind of like a novelty color, you know what I mean? Like it's not something that I throw all the time, but I was looking at them, I was like, damn, I bet those Motorola ones are badass, and they are. They look great. I can't. All right, last question, and be honest. When's the last time you threw a Motorola colored anything? Peace, love, and rat brains. This is the third, maybe fourth. Rich, it's been a long time. Me too. Motorola is not a good color. Schoolmaster, have you lost your mind, bro? One of the biggest bass I ever caught was on a Motorola lizard. I have definitely thrown a Motorola power worm in the last 2 seasons. There you go. The only interesting thing to me that I always thought was kind of dumb was when they came out with Motorola chartreuse, like Motorola with chartreuse tail, Zoom did, because Motorola pretty much looks chartreuse in the water. So if there's a chartreuse tail on it, you really can't even see the difference. I couldn't. It always like was the same thing. Uh, Tim, do you have a certain amount of circumstances that you like to throw, or anybody for that matter? When is what water do you see and say, "Damn, it's Motorola day. It's motor. This is Motorola water." Clear water. I always liked it in clear water, like black water, like just weedy water, where it would like glow. Um, but I never knew what it was designed for. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a lot of fish on a Motorola's U-tail. The water turns color Lake Fork triggers are deadly on sunny days. Amy, I'm trying. We're talking about Motorola. I'm sorry. Sorry. I was trying to crack the code on Motorola. And when is it? Because it like I haven't thrown it in so long. It was never one of those colors that I like figured out. It was just one of those colors when I was a kid. You have like 5 packs of worms, and one of them happens to be Motorola, and you throw it for no rhyme or reason, but you catch fish on it, and you can't remember what those conditions actually were, but you knew you caught fish on it. And it's the same now. Like I don't look at Motorola and be like, oh, I remember throwing that when it was like really muddy and catching them real good. Uh, Stain water. Tim likes it with a little bit of stain. Fire and ice. Yeah, fire and ice was good down here for a while. Hell uses it in the clear. So apparently it is just an all around good color. Motorola chartreuse is your green pumpkin. How about that? That's pretty strong, Tim. That is pretty strong. All right. What makes a big lizard to swim up on top of shallow cover? Big means at least 10 inches. Uh, they will eat Motorola and Big Stone. Is there grass in Big Stone? Is that a grass place? So I could swim a worm? So I could swim those lake forks? Ooh. Ooh. That'd be fun. Berkeley Motorola. I've never bought any Berkeley Motorola. I prefer Zooms. Stay tuned for iCast. New colors. Frog, chatterbait, swim jig, swimming worm, and jig. Hayden Kalins makes a giant 11-inch lizard. Callan's or is it Kalen's? See what this is. It called a worm or is it called like a iguana? See how dumb it looks. Tangent number 6, correct. Guggen has one, 7-incher. Guggen. If you look up lizard, Guggen is up there. On the SEO, they're pretty strong with the SEO. Oh, there it is. Musky pike big bass lizard. Oh, wow, that is a pretty monstrous lizard. All right, ending number 6. See y'all later. Adios.